Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. You read the title, you know what we're doing here. We're talking about the books that we read in January. The first wrap up of the year. Let's go. This was a good month, you guys. The drink of the day. We do have coffee and it's a little to-go cup because I actually just got back from church and so we're filming this quick. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little cold because I had it in the morning, and then we also have some water because gotta stay hydrated. Okay, so to start, so I read 9 books this month, okay? And guys, for the first time in like forever, I actually have physical copies. Did I read any of the physical copies? No. Okay, I didn't read these physically. I love to read on my Kindle, okay? Audiobooks, they slay, okay? So, to start off the year, guys, you should be so proud of me. And now I have talked about this in other vlogs, so you know that I read this if you watch the other vlogs. We read Crescent City, guys, House of Earth and Blood. Now, this is like the deluxe version, so this isn't like, it's House of Earth and Blood, it's just a different cover, okay? So, basically, this is by Sarah J. Maas. Loki, if you're on BookTok, I feel like you know about this, but if you don't, I'll tell you. Basically, it's kind of hard to explain because this is an urban fantasy. I was gonna say it's my first urban fantasy, but I think that's a lie because I think Zodiac Academy is technically urban fantasy. So just kidding, it's not my first urban fantasy. But this is very big world building. I listened to most of this as an audiobook, so I would highly suggest that. Because it's a thick boy. She's thick, okay? So, anyway, this follows Bryce Quinlan, and she is fae or half fae, something like that. I think she's half fae. In this world, there are lots of creatures, okay? I don't even remember half of them, okay? But there's lots of them. And, yeah, there's like there's just lots, okay? So, it's a lot to remember, but you know, that's okay. So in this world, she is what does she do? She like works at this gallery, and she's very much like, everybody calls her the party princess, okay? They're partying, they're drinking, they're going to clubs, you know. So in urban fantasy, I forgot to tell you what an urban fantasy, if you don't know, it's like fantasy, but you're also in the modern world, or like you have modern things, like they have cell phones, they have phones, they go to the clubs, you know, so they have modern things. They don't really have cars, but it's because, like, do they have cars? I forget, but, like, low-key, you don't need cars. I don't know. Maybe they do have cars. I forget. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Anyway, they definitely have cars, and I'm just being stupid, but it doesn't matter. So, basically, this is a murder mystery. So, one of Bryce's best friends die, and it's by this, like, she gets killed by this demon, and so then a few years later she has to solve the mystery, basically. And there's this angel that comes and helps her. Yeah, anyway, it's really good. I gave it 5 stars, and I'm really excited to go to the next one. So what I loved about this was the ending. It's not a cliffhanger, but it's like not like, so okay, what I think happens is that, so there's 3 books out in the series. There's gonna be more, but Bryce and his name is Hunt, their story is done. So like the next books are gonna follow different people, I think. But I don't know because I haven't read the rest of them. So what's nice is that it's like, it's not open-ended, I guess. Like, how do you explain this? It's not a cliffhanger, but you can tell there's like more to do, you know? But it's not like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna die if I don't read the next one, you know? Anyway, I don't know if that makes sense. Like, you get a little happy ever after, but you also know, like, oh, there's some more to do. So, read that, and I gave it 5 stars. The next book I read, this was also a very big, well, it wasn't big, but it was just intimidating to me, because I knew it was going to maybe make me sob, or, like, the series is going to be sad, and that is Addicted to You by Krista and Becky Ritchie. Okay. I haven't continued the series because, again, I'm scared, but I'm so excited to as well. This follows Lily Calloway and Lauren Hale. And basically, they are like rich society. Their family is like very rich, like society. They're in, yeah. So they're in a fake relationship, and they're the only two people that know. They're both struggling with addictions. She is addicted to sex, and he is an alcoholic. So they both pretend to be together to like conceal it to their family and stuff, and you kind of just go from there, and then they kind of just fall in love, and it's just like, it's so good. I gave this a 4.75, and I'm so excited for the next ones, and I'm also so scared, and oh my goodness, it was so good. I highly recommend. Also, like, search up your trigger warnings, obviously. Well, it's not like that bad. At least not yet, but I know that, whatever, just, it's so good. You guys, I just, yeah, anyway, I'm really scared for the next ones, but also excited. Yeah, so that was, I read that. What did I say? I gave it 4.75. Just because I know that there's gonna be better ones in the series. Like, I can feel it. Kind of like with the Zodiac Academy series, how, like, I can feel it could be better, you know? I'm not, like, saying it was bad. Whatever. You get it. It was 4.75. The next book I read, okay, so I have the deluxe edition, the collector's edition, because, well, this is just the one I have. Anyway, and it's The Score by Elle Kennedy. This follows, Dean and Allie. Okay, this is the college romance. This is the third book in the off-campus series. And it's like friends with benefit situation turns in love. Basically, he's like this really, like, he's like the playboy. Okay, you like get him in the first two books. You like know the story, okay? And she has been in this relationship with this other dude. In the beginning, like, they're broken up, so it's not cheating trope at all or anything. But she's been off and on with this dude for like 3 years or something, or more than that, and they finally break up, and she's just like, I can't deal with him. I really hate her ex-boyfriend, okay? He's so annoying. I hate him. Anyway, so it ends up that they spend a little night together, and then they decide to have a little friends with benefits situation, and then it turns into more, and it's so good. I really love this series. Like, I get it. I don't know why I didn't read it before. Like, I understand why everyone was like obsessed with it. I'm excited to read the next one. Also a little scared because the next one, it's technically the last one in the off-campus series, because there's a epilogue novel called The Legacy, but what you're supposed to do is apparently read all of off-campuses except for The Legacy, and then read the Briar U series, which is another series by her. So technically I have one left, and then I read the Briar U series, if that makes sense. But the next one is Accidental Pregnancy Trope. So I've read that before, but like I read Out on a Limb, and I've never, like, everyone always says like they hate the pregnancy trope and stuff like that. I had strong feelings either way. Oh, here's actually the thing. I used to think I leaned like I liked it because I love a good, like, sick, he takes care of her vibe. I haven't read like a really bad one where they're just like throw it in there for funsies. The author does, but I can understand. I've heard people talk about some books that do. I can't think of any that come to mind right now, and so I understand. But so far I haven't had any like ones that I hate, so we'll see how we feel once I read the next one. I haven't read it yet, as I said. Oh, I gave this one, I think, 4 stars. Let me check. Yeah, 4 stars. Okay, the next book. Oh my goodness, you guys. Oh my goodness, guys. I read Not in Love by Allie Hazelwood. This follows Rue and Eli. Now, before we start talking about this, I'm just going to preface this by saying this is her STEM romance. One of Allie Hazelwood's STEM romance. I'm not a STEM girly. I'm just going to say I love it. But I'm just going to say that when explaining it, it's not going to be a good explanation because, again, I'm not a STEM girly, but Allie Hazelwood is, and she's smart, and I'm not the smartest about those things. So, I'm just going to preface this by saying you might be a little confused, but it's okay, okay? Anyway, so basically, Rue is a biotech engineer at this company, Klein, who is run by this girl who's, like, also kind of her bestie. But, like, not really, I don't know. It's hard to explain the relationship. They're good friends. And then Eli is I always forget the word. I have to look it up because it'll just annoy me. Oh yeah, okay, he has a private equity firm with, like he's a co-founder and partner in that, okay? I don't really know what that means, but it's something with finance, and he like comes in to businesses and does stuff, okay? So, basically he comes in, he wants their business, and she's like scared, everybody's scared that he's gonna like take it over and ruin it and all of this situations, okay? All of this stuff. So, basically she's like, well, I don't like you because you're trying to take this girl, my best friend and boss, basically boss's business away from her. And I'm forgetting the boss's name, but whatever. Anyway, so to preface this, the night before this whole thing happens, they were supposed to meet up and like basically hook up. They met up like through a dating app, but it's not a dating app actually. So yeah, but they end up not doing anything. So then she sees him and she's like, well, we can't do anything now. Anyway, they kind of just go from there. Now, this is it's her like, it's more of a spicy one because she actually has a little note in here basically saying how these two, they want to connect, and because of the like trauma and like things they both deal with, like not neglect, I think is what she said. I mean, that's what they deal with. Hold on, let me get to the note. They deal with grief, food insecurity, and child neglect, so they don't know how to connect except for physically. So that's kind of like the reason why she wrote it, more like they connect physically more than emotionally. Anyway, and I just, this is so good. It was so good. Okay. Anyway, I gave it 5 stars. I just love it so much. Anyway, I would highly recommend Ali Hazelwood book. I think like almost all of them I gave 5 stars. Yeah, so 5 stars. Okay, we had a minor interruption because my camera died, but we're back. We are so back, you guys. So, back to talking about this. I think all I was saying was I didn't explain it very well, but it was really good, and you just have to read it, okay? So, next book. The next book I read was Common Goal. This is in the Game Changers universe, series. This follows Eric and Kyle. So this is a bit of an age gap vibe. Eric plays for the New York Admirals, so he's the same one. He's on the same team as Scott Hunter, and he is the goalie, and he's not old, but in hockey years he is, so like he's almost 40 or something like that. Or he is 40. I kind of forget. And then Kyle is he's actually Kip's friend. So like Scott and Kip low-key set them up, but like not knowing that they are kind of vibe. So you meet Kyle in the Game Changers, so Scott and Kip's book. Yeah. Anyway, and he's a lot younger, and you kind of just go from there. Yeah, it was really good. I gave it 3.5, honestly. The books, I do like the books in this series, but like none of them are touching heated rivalry in the long game. Like I feel like the rest of these, they're from like 4, or like they're like 3.5 or 3 is the lowest I gave one. 3.5 is the lowest I gave. So they're still good, but they're definitely like heated rivalry in the long game. That's just something else. That's just something else. Anyway, I would recommend it though. It's very good. They're like, yeah, they're just good. Anyway, the next book I read was Problematic Summer Romance. Now this is the next one in the like Not in Love universe. Basically this follows Maya and Connor. So Maya is Eli's younger sister, and Connor is Eli's best friend, who like they did the business together. That's what it's named after. And it's so good when I tell you. So again, age gap. I was just in my age gap era, I guess. Basically, now some people don't like this, some people do. I can understand why certain people don't like it. I personally loved it. Okay. Basically, Maya and Connor, Maya's always had a crush on Connor, but he's like older and like he wouldn't do anything, obviously. And everybody thought like he didn't know about it, or like they never had anything. Well, come to find out, they were actually like besties. They just didn't tell anyone. They would like be calling on the phone all the time talking, and so they're like literally best friends. And then one day he's like, we can't do this anymore, and like all this situation. So it's been like a whole year, and then they all come together because, well, this is spoiler alert from Not in Love, but it's a romance book, so you know what happens. Rue and Eli are getting married, and so they all come together for the wedding. It's a destination wedding, and it's been like a year since they've talked, and they used to talk like every day, Maya and Connor. And so now, yeah. So I know the reasons, so some of the reasons that people don't like this, he does mention her age a lot, but not in a way of like he's like romanticizing it, in a way of like he's like, I don't want to do this because I don't want to be, he has like lots of family trauma, low-key. He needs therapy. He might be in therapy, I forget. Yeah, so he's like, I don't want to be like my dad, because his dad literally married someone that was younger than him. Yeah, his dad is like rich and like bad person, okay? So you don't really dive into that, but he has some trauma, so he doesn't want to like put it on her, I guess. I don't know what I'm really saying here. So he mentions a lot just because he's like, I don't want to hurt you, I don't want to do this because you are a lot younger than me. I think it's like 13 years or something, but like she's old, like I forget how old she is. Anyway, so that's a lot of the reasons that people don't like it. I, for one, loved it. It was amazing. I don't know what that was. I gave it 4.75, only because I just wanted more of them. Like, I wanted an epilogue and see them, and I think it's because I got to see, like, since we got to see Rue and Eli in this one, which, oh my word, the found family in this, like, why was I sobbing the whole time they were there? Because I was just like, oh, they're so cute. Anyway, very highly recommend, but read Not in Love first, obviously. Okay, the next one, next one I read was Role Model, so this is the last book to read in the Game Changers series, and this follows Troy and Harris. They're so cute, okay? Basically Troy moves to the, hold on, what are they? The Ottawa team, I think? Yeah, because he was on the, I forget what team he was on. He was on this team, and this dude that he like was like besties with was like, he's a really bad man. You know, if you read the other books, you see it. And he's just like really mean to everyone basically. And he's trying to turn his life around, Troy is, because he finally called out this dude for being absolutely terrible. Also, search your trigger warnings, or like there is mentions of sexual assault in this book. Anyway, so Troy is trying to turn his life around, and then there's Harris, and he just, they just have a little crush. Harris is the team's social media manager. He's so funny. They're both so funny. Anyway, I gave it 3.5 stars. So yeah, obviously Heated Rivalry, highly recommend them all. So anyway, I read Daisy Jones and Six, which actually I listened to it, and that's what you're supposed to do because it was really good. This follows a fictional band that were together for like, I think it was a couple years. Basically, sorry, I don't mean to flip you off. They released one album together, and then they never spoke to each other again. Nobody knows what happened. And so this book is their like, not their memoir, but like this is about them. She interviews them each. It's all dialogue. So like it's like Billy says blah blah blah, and it's like Daisy says that. So it's all like interview style. The audiobook was so good, and I highly recommend that because I think if I just read it, I maybe would like forget who is who, but because of the audiobook, there's all like, I think it's a full cast, or they're just really good at doing different voices because they're like all different people, or like I easily distinguish them all. Anyway, so you kind of go from there. It was so good. It was like sad and too at times, but it was so good. I gave it 4.75. So good. Highly recommend. I know this is very popular. Like everyone was like, read this, read this, read this. It was like one of the OG books, and I'm excited to watch the show. I haven't started it just because I'm like, I don't want to like go through the pain again. But yeah, I really love her books. Taylor Jenkins Reid. Then the last book I read, I just finished it, and oh, I was obsessed. Okay, I read Bratva Bride by T.J. Maguire. Basically this follows, so I don't know how to say it because they're like Russian and Italian, but his name is Arturo, Arturo, I think is how you say it, I'm not sure. And then Ileana, I think is her name. Anyway, basically this is, they have to, so they're two different like mafia, it's dark mafia romance, so search your trigger warnings. And they're two different mafia families and they're merging together, so of course you know what that means. Arranged marriage. So they have an arranged marriage, but it is very much, I feel like this is one of the first ones where it's like, okay, I actually haven't read that much mafia romance, but mafia romance that I have read is all arranged marriage. And there's a few that are like forced, the girl usually. So this one, they were very much like, I'm gonna give like, I mean this is bare minimum, but they were very much like, you get to choose. Her dad was like, I'm not gonna force you into anything. And this one, she is a baddie, okay? She's out there like, she was raised just like her brother. I mean, not just like her brothers, obviously, but just like her brothers. Like, she knows how to fight, she knows how to like do all the stuff, like she goes on the missions for her dad and like all this stuff, and it's so good. Okay, so basically this arranged marriage, but then there's also plot. There's also plot. Let's go, okay? It's Bratva, obviously. They rule the Las Vegas, and the Cosa Nostra rule New York and New York City, and they merge and they become the king queen. Yeah, it's so good, and I'm so excited to continue the series. And the like, well, it's not found family, I guess, technically, because they are family. Basically, her family, they all get books. So she has 3 brothers, and then her dad gets a book too, which I'm scared for that one because it's really sad because her mom dies. It's not like on page, it was like a long time ago, they talk about it in this book, and so I'm really scared and I'm so excited. I think it's gonna be so emotional, that book, and just all of them, and they're so funny. Like the family, like they're always just like, literally her and her brother are literally like fighting all the time. Not all the time, but there's like multiple times that like her fiance or like whatever, he walks in and he's like, what is happening? And they're like on the floor like rolling around on each other because they're like fighting. It's really funny. Anyway, and there's a time where she's literally like, she's not shooting the brothers, but like she shoots at them to like shut the door, and it's just so funny. You just have to read it to understand, but I loved it. I gave it 4 stars. I'm so excited to read the next ones, but I haven't yet, but it will be soon. I'm very much in a dark like mafia romance right now. I'm currently reading Twisted Emotions. I'm actually not that far into it. I'm like 3 chapters in just because I've been so busy, but like, I am so excited to keep reading, and that's what I'm gonna do right after this. So that is all the books that I read in January. We'll be back here at the end of February with our next wrap up. Follow me on Instagram, Goodreads, and TikTok. All of my links will be down in the description, and I will see you right back here next week with another video. Bye!